Here we're doing some glazing today. I bought this JCB which is a telehandler, 2.5 tonne, to pull out a number of different materials for the job site. I've hired a glass suction caps here because this particular glass is about 400 kilos. It was too heavy for the 6 guys I had to actually lift out of that, and a bit too dangerous to then walk it down the hill and then it break. So instead what we did is, you can see we've got the glass suction caps attached to a jib, attached to the JCB, and I'm lifting it out of that crate. And these windows have actually come all the way from Poland, so you can imagine it's going Spanish profiles that are shipped from Spain to Poland, fabricated in Poland, then shipped from Poland to Australia. Now I'm pulling it out with my homemade jib and driving it down the hill. So I was pretty stressed that day. But you can see we're tying up a rope here, and that's going to allow us to control the swing as it goes down the hill. And I've got foam kind of stuck up in on the edges of that jib, so if it does swing back around, that we're not going to smash the glass on it. So there we go. We've got Rish, he's just given us the go-ahead that we can start lifting. I'm there in the cab driving, and we're about to re-maneuver. Now I'm just going to speed up a little bit here. No. So you can see it lifting up. So with the JCB, it's a JCB 525 telehandler. It's a 2.5 tonne lifting capacity, but as soon as you start to go downhill, that derates the load quite a lot. And every time you boom out, you're derating the load. So you can imagine I got a 6 metre boom on this, and if you boom out by a metre, you're kind of losing. It's a bit of a parabolic curve, but if you blow your eyes at it a bit, it's about 500 kilos every metre you boom out. So you can only really get 500 kilos on the end extension, and if you do that, it tips over. Yeah, you can actually see there the foam at the front of the jib, and that's to stop that glass from smashing against the metal. And what they're going to do is actually pull just a tiny bit of tension there on that rope, so it actually keeps it on an angle, because I'm going to go up there on the second level, and it doesn't actually fit through if I was just to leave it straight, because on that top landing where there's a balcony, we've got 4 guys there ready to hold it in place and then lift it up onto a trolley, and then they're going to wheel it to the back of the property where the 6 guys will then lift it into place. You can see now I'm starting to go down that hill super slow, trying not to get too many bumps. You can see it's uneven terrain. That's where the telehandler is fantastic. But this is so much safer. Those suction caps aren't going to let go, and it really allows us to control that lift. You see he's just thrown the rope up, so now I can keep a little bit of tension on that rope now as well, keeping that off to the side. Now here's an interesting thing. I actually put concrete blocks into a bag and test drove this lift many times. I've got a sensor in the back wheel that detects when your back wheels don't have any weight left on them, so I was able to keep putting weights on this, and I was fine when I had 580 kilograms lifted up into place, and this is only about a 400 kilogram lift. So I'd already retested this, knew that I wasn't going to tip over. And here you can see I've got to drive downhill while lifting boom, and then only at the last minute start to boom out, because remember I'm trying to keep the boom in as close as possible. And I've only got about 400 millimeters from the top of that roof to the base, so as I'm driving down the hill, it's dropping the glass, so then I'm needing to boom up. But then as you go too far, you need to then drop the boom down a bit. So it's that sort of Scotty there with his smoke as we're half installing it. Good old Australian. nothing like a ciggy while you're installing 400 kilos of glass. But yeah, so there we go. You can see the boys getting prepped for it. They're telling me to go up and down, until I can get it just into place. And what you're not quite seeing, there's another window already installed there with another window frame. So we're actually trying to slide that through half of that window. Once we get it in, they're going to tell me to drop it down. They're going to secure it into position, then we'll release the suction caps, and then I'll be able to drive back out. This is pretty tense right now for me. I'm driving inside the cab, and I think by about 1 o'clock I had to just have a lie down and do nothing because of the stress levels and anxiety. But no, I'd practiced. I knew it was going to work, so I was pretty calm on the day. You can see here I'm getting more instructions from the guy there to come forward or to stop, to go down. They're really just sort of getting everything into place, and everything's really slow. That's the idea here. It's nothing's a fast movement. It's got this great handbrake on it where I just flick the switch and everything stops, and then I can take instruction and then make a small movement up, down, in, out, whatever the boys need really. So you can see here why it's a bit slow is because nothing needs to happen fast. We're not in a rush. Everything's all secured. The boys are just walking around and getting the different chocks required, foam blocking, everything to protect that aluminium, because nothing like getting it all the way to this point and then being in a bit of rush. There you go. You can see that foam block going underneath the timber. Now I'll get instructions to go down a bit, out a bit. There we go. So we've taken the load. Now these windows, they're, like I said, they're from Poland. It's a double glazed, thermally broken aluminium setup for a passive house. So and they're huge windows. We're talking 2.7 metres tall glass by 2.2 metres wide and 2 panels of glass in each. So if you want to see more of this, why don't you subscribe to my channel, Tips by Aidan. I've got lots of examples where I'm just using machinery that I've got to build things really. Here we go, watch this. This one was a bit scary for us. We kind of, on the way back, there's a little bit of forward tilt, and sometimes you get a bit of a shake. And 3, 2, 1, there we go. Scared the hell out of me. Worried that that's going to hit the glass, but now it's all the way back. No weight on it. Get to driveway, put in a position. Now the boys actually have the hard job of lifting that. It takes 6 boys to actually just lift it onto the trolley, and then job well done. Thanks everyone.